Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kenny Lamons here with Medicare Millennials. Today, I want to do a video regarding, as of what we understand right now, what will agent compensation look like for Medicare Advantage plans as well as prescription drug or standalone Part D plans. I know there's been a ton of different information out there. I really haven't made a lot of videos regarding this topic because I'm just not quite sure where it's going to land. I think we should be pretty confident this video should lay out what you can expect to get paid on these types of plans for 2025. AEP is right around the corner, so this is super important for our planning and kind of what we anticipate to happen going forward. Now, before I jump into it, I am going to screen share today from one of my favorite websites. The way they explain the new compensation as it stands today is really good. But before I do that, number one, I have been putting timestamps into the description below. So if you're one of those that just wants to jump to the part of the video that's interesting to you, fine, you can do that going forward. Secondly, if you are a new agent or you're ready for a change or you need something new, please feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in finding a new upline, a new FMO. I'll tell you about the FMO I use, why I like them, what tools and support they offer, and if it's a good fit for you or not. Now, you may already be happy with an upline, or you think that you're happy with an upline selection you've made. In that case, I do provide paid consultations. So you just pay a fee, get a consultation call with me. You absolutely no strings attached. I'm an open book. I'll tell you anything I know regarding the questions you have and just help you out as best as I can. Okay, so let's jump into the meat and potatoes. So as of today, what does compensation look like? Let's start with an article from Ritter. They're always this one of those big nationwide FMOs. I like the articles that they put out. So let's screen share and look at that real quick. Boom. Hopefully you guys can see this here. So this is just a simple Google search, but I use Ritter for a lot of just compensation updates. I always do a good job of this. As a result of recent lawsuits regarding the 2025 Medicare final rule, CMS issued updates again to the broker commissions for Medicare Advantage and Part D. This is as of July 18th, and to the best of my knowledge, this still stands and is what the carriers are going to be going with. So what will it look like? There will be a slight increase year over year, although it's pretty small. So let's jump straight down to it. Let's just go to this chart here. All right, so PDP will be going for on an initial. So this is somebody that's turning 65 or it's their first time on this type of Medicare plan, a PDP. You will be getting $109. That's a 9% increase over what we're currently getting paid. In your renewals, we will be going up $5 from 50 to 55. So that's a 10% increase. Not too bad. That's nationally. Now, let me explain the difference. An initial is like a one-time bigger commission you get when somebody's first on a plan. The renewal just means you divide that by 12, and then every year that that plan renews, that's what you'll get paid as earned going forward. So just make sure I do my math right here. 55 divided by 12 is $4.58 per month that you would get when a PDP is in its renewal phase. Okay, so that's usually not a huge part of a lot of Medicare agents' portfolios because maybe they do more Medicare Advantage. They don't sell a lot of standalone drug plans. And there's even MedSup agents who just, for whatever reason, they decide not to sell the PDP plan. So that's not the biggest portion of compensation for most agents. However, MAPDs is big for most Medicare agents unless they exclusively do Medicare supplement. So let's jump into that. Right now, in most states, we get paid $611 for an initial MAPD. So somebody turning 65 or they've only ever had original Medicare. It's their first time getting a Medicare Advantage plan. Sell them, we'll get a check for $611 from the carrier. Great. This upcoming year, it's going up a measly 2.45% to 626. And then the renewal, which is just as important, especially if you don't focus on T65s, is going from 306 up 2.29% to $313 for 2025. So 313 divided by 12 is $26.08 per policy per month. So per member per month, If you have 100 clients on the books and you're getting renewals on all of them, you'll get roughly $2,600 per month in renewals. You can do the math there. Now, this wouldn't be news typically, other than for a couple of reasons. Number one, these increases don't even keep up with inflation, at least not for MAPD. It's a tiny little increase. I've heard other agents that have been around a long time say, well, there was a time in the past when commissions went down. Well, that's all well and good. I'm not worried about the past. To me, this is a bit of a slap in the face. We all know what inflation has done to all of us, not just as business owners, but as just personal households. And a 2.5% increase isn't keeping up with anything. But even a bigger point than that is, let's read right here from this article, and this is why I like this article. So in 2025, there were sweeping changes to Medicare agent compensation. Let's read through what they said they were going to do. Eliminate separate administrative fees, set clear fixed amounts for MA and Part D sales, cap agent and broker non-salary compensation, and prohibit enrollment incentives that could lead to bias. Okay, so what was that originally supposed to look like? That was originally supposed to be an increase across the board of $100 for an initial PDP or MAPD sale. Okay, so what that would have looked like was $726 if you sold a new to Medicare Advantage nationally, and $209 if you sold a new to Medicare PDP nationally. And then for that, $50 would be added to renewal. So our renewal each year on a PDP would have been $105, and nationally our renewal for an MAPD would have been don't make me do math here, 363. Okay, so that's a significant, especially if that retroactively would have applied to the book of business you already have. That's a massive pay raise immediately, a massive pay raise going forward. It would have been really nice. So here's where the dilemma came in. That for multiple reasons, many organizations, including large FMOs, I mean, you can look up the lawsuits and in what states and what FMOs it was, but also other organizations sued CMS essentially saying, we don't want to do this. Okay, so I'm not going to go, there were various reasons why they wanted to sue, but here's the thing for us. When they sued, this is what happened. A federal judge in Texas granted a stay, which essentially meant that a final court outcome is not expected until sometime in 2025 or even 2026. So the compensation we went over originally right here is what I expect to be at least obviously through most, if not all of 2025 and beyond before all of that gets worked out. That's a big bummer for us as agents. I personally believe it would have been better for the industry overall if more of the commission would have shifted to the individual writing agent. And yes, that would have probably ended up taking money out of Upline's pockets, so the FMO's pockets. However, if you look at the whole pie, in my personal opinion, it's not healthy for so much override to be going to the FMO. I think that creates a market for like mass recruiting and being able to get away with giving very little value in exchange because it's so profitable to the override on agents. And really, a lot of the incentive driven, like, hey, sell this plan over the other, in my opinion, wasn't even based largely on the independent agent. It was based on these big call centers or large, massive recruiting FMOs who got more marketing money and therefore encouraged agents to sell these plans. And I'm sure the HRA fees helped as well. But long story short, we missed out on a big opportunity for a pay raise. For now, it's business as usual. We get a small increase, kind of a cost of living, although you can't even call it a cost of living increase because it has not kept up the cost of living increase that we've seen nationally. These are what the commissions look like for the following year. All of that being said, it's not the end of the world. Like, business is still profitable. This is still a great business to be in. However, we were, as independent agents that don't work for an employer, that don't work for a call center, we all got pretty excited hearing about that pay raise. I love my FMO, but they would have survived if that would have cut into their commissions, and I think it would have made more sense for the landscape. I mean, what really do you guys feel like your FMO gives you that would justify you losing out on a massive amount of renewals on all of your current book, plus a big pay raise on anything you sell going forward? I know that they don't pay $1,000 a month for me to use Sunfire enrollment platform. And even if they did pay that much, I can live without Sunfire for a massive raise that I would have gotten in this renewal increase. So let's hope that over the course of the next year or two, everything lands where it's beneficial, not just for the drug companies or not just for the insurance companies and not just for the FMOs, but just as importantly for beneficiaries who receive the Medicare plans and for the agents who are actually out on the streets taking care of these clients. Maybe we'll get that pay increase at some point in the future. This is what we're looking at for now. I hope this was helpful. You guys do great during AEP.